If I could go back 10 years for 10 seconds and talk to my younger self, I would just say you can do a lot more than what you're doing right now. Even though if you think you can't, you can. And the reason why I say that is because if you set a bigger goal and you set more audacious goals, you start thinking about it completely different. Welcome back to the Detailing Business Class podcast, where you'll learn proven tactics and strategies on sales, marketing, and operations to grow your business. I'm your host, Oscar Gill, and my goal is to elevate you as a detailer and business owner to the next level. And welcome back to another podcast episode. Here I have my good friends, team members, employees, partner, Mr. Lex Diaz and Angel Bautista. They're on for another episode. We're going to talk about quite a few things here. Kind of talk about how to handle setbacks in different parts of your business, whether it's something small, something big. We'll talk about the difference between a good customer and then contrasting that to like more of a bad, not so good, perhaps even crappy customer. And just talk about other things like our 2023 goals and a few other things. So let's go ahead and get started. Angel, you were here on the last podcast episode. You talked a little low. So this time, maybe just get a little closer to the mic, speak up a little harder. Are you a little nervous again?
Not as much.
Not as much? Okay. All right. You are? Okay, bro. You've been on a few episodes, though.
No,
Angel's,
I'm good, though.
This is the second one. You have like 5, actually.
I do.
There's not that
I'm
many.
straight.
All right, so we'll get straight into it and let's go into the business side of things. So let's first talk about the difference between a good and maybe not so good customer. So Angel, in the last episode, you did talk about that you charged $650 your first time charging $650 for a customer for a service.
Yeah.
And you also said that you've also charged like $85 and people were like, man, that's very expensive. So to you, when you had those two kinds of customers, could you tell, like, what was there any different aside from the price, obviously, but like, what did you see any like differences between the two as far as like, oh man, the one that paid $650, even though it's a lot more, they were like chill with the services and like they didn't expect perfection and they still tipped bigger than the $85 detail that they did. Like, did you see any of that?
Yeah. So I think it just depends on the customer's situation. So when I charge $650 and I quote the guy, you can just see like how eager he is for the service. Just right away, he's like, hey man, I want this. And he's firm on it. He's not confused about what he wants. He's not asking a whole lot of questions. He knows that he wants paint enhancement, and he knows that that's what he's going to get done. And he's willing to pay top dollar for the service. And then whenever you quote someone, for example, I've quoted $80 for an interior and they said it's too expensive. You can just tell right away the attitude, just how the customer is reacting to the price. It's like, oh, like maybe the customer just maybe can't afford or just isn't looking for that kind of quality of service. So just right away off the bat, you can just tell. Most of the times, if you're trying to like sell a service and convince a customer to pay a certain price for a service, that's probably not a very good customer.
Yeah, and then that's been your highest. That's still been your highest service that you've done so far, right?
On one vehicle, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like over time if you move fast enough and like you kind of skip that part, you probably won't go through it as much. I went through that quite a bit as well in the early phases of like seeing that very drastic difference of like, oh wow, the ones that you charge low and they still complain a lot more and will expect more versus the people that you charge more and I guess you could probably you're doing less because you're charging like for what you're actually doing, and it's like a night and day difference. So we'll move on to Lexi here on the customer. So I don't think we went through because I mean when I reference like seeing crappy customers or just not so good customers, that was like, years ago when I was like in the beginning phases. Yeah, once things started like kind of going off and stuff, it's like it just like we don't really get that as many. I mean, we do as far as when we talk to customers on the phone, maybe
that, yes,
but not actual, because obviously if we have them on the schedule, they kind of past the,
Already,
the
yeah.
criteria
Yeah.
of what it is. So let's say talking on the phone for you, because you talk to the customers the most on the phone now, is that like can you tell what are kind of some signals, some red flags of like you're talking to them and you're going through your typical spiel of the process, the questions, all that, and like what do they say where you're like, ooh, this customer's not a good fit for what we do?
For customers who are not a good fit, they generally just ask for price and price alone. They're just like, how much to get my car detailed. They don't really give off a lot of info. They're just like, I just want to know the price. As soon as I tell them the price, it's already a no from the get go. You could hear just they change the tone of their voice, like, ooh, that much. Ooh, what's included? Or do you get the trunk with that? Does it come with a wash? Like, once they ask those type of questions, then I already know, it's that type of customer.
Do you like with those? Do you like kind of get them off the phone a little faster, or but has there been some that like surprise you and you're like, oh, you're booking actually? Like I didn't.
I think there has. I can't think of one on top of my head. But yeah, typically when I can already feel that they're just shopping for price, I try to get them off the phone as quick as possible. Just give them a price, and then just straight up just ask, do you want to book an appointment? Usually that answer is going to be no. And then be like, oh, okay, well, have a good day. Bye.
Yeah, and it's not like being rude, but it's like sometimes the person on the phone doesn't want to be the person to be like, I can't afford this or it's too expensive. So if you expedite the process and be like, so you want to book it in? It's like they're like, oh, not right now. No, thank you. I'll have to think about it. So it's also like you're not wasting their time. You're not wasting your time because realistically, it's like at the if it's at the end of the day, let alone like during summertime. Bro, that's one call of like 17 you got to make. And it's like, bro, I got to get through this a little faster because it's like it's at the end of the day. Like you're trying to wrap up as well. You're trying to go through things like,
as soon as I hear like the, it's 200. I'm like, do you want to book an appointment? And then they just tell me yes or no.
Yeah, and that's because that's the same thing with me too. Is like when I was the primary talker, just like that. Whatever they said, whether it was like they liked it or they didn't like it, or like you could tell they weren't interested. I'd be like, so would you like to book an appointment for like whatever? I was just like immediately like, okay, do you want to book it? Because
like yes or no.
If they do, they might have more questions. Like it might lead you to like, oh, okay, maybe they aren't interested. But most often than not, when you get those little red flags, you're like, nah, they're not interested at all. And it's just like, again, it's not to sound rude or mean or anything, but it's like,
it's a business.
Yeah, it's like, and on that same note though, actually, like if we have a client that wants paint correction, those conversations take a little longer sometimes.
Yeah, because those people know exactly what they're looking for. I want my paint corrected. What do you offer?
What do you like? What's the process? Whatever. Like, hey, we have this. Hey, I heard about this ceramic coating. Does it work like this? Hey, do you guys do the? And they might get the terminology wrong. Like, hey, so do you guys? Not that we they'll say like, do you guys buff and polish the paint or like buff and wax it? And it's like they have the right intent behind what they're speaking. So it's like they often talk more, but even at the same time, we've had conversations where like you're talking to someone for 15, 20 minutes and you're like, this isn't going anywhere. Like this, like they're just kind of talking. It's like it's not going anywhere. But that's like the nature of like talking because you honestly don't know when is someone gonna be like, like again, like I had times too where like I was oh, you're actually gonna book. Like that's like you pick up on the red flags, but at the same time, you don't know who's actually gonna like end up actually booking with you. Yeah,
and sometimes they ask for a service that they don't really are familiar with. Like they say they want a buff. In reality, they just want a really good wash. But in their head, they're just used to going to like local car washes and them getting sold that name, buff or high speed wax. Yeah. But really, that's not what they're looking for. So once I explain it, sometimes some customers will book for the lower end service because now they know that. That's what they want.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Yeah, yeah, and I guess that also comes down to like that comes to one, obviously you just educating the customer, and then two, that's setting up the proper expectations because like that does happen where you can tell they have like that car wash mentality or that car wash terminology of like, hey, can I get a quick buff and wax? Or do you guys like, wax the interior or whatever the case may be? But it's like, what we think of is like buff is like, oh, you want paint correction? It's like, no, I just want a wax or just a wash, like a detailed wash or whatever, So that's a good point. Now, in person, do you have any like specific, maybe pre our days, but like, did you ever have like kind of cheap more?
Yes. Remember there was one time this one customer came to the shop. He traveled a pretty long way because off the phone I gave him a quote, and it was like I don't remember the quote. Maybe it was over 200. he got here trying to talk me to do it for like $50.
Yeah,
And he would like, can you get this stain out, but not this one? Can you get this scratch out, but not this one? And can you lower and do it all for 50 right now? I'm not. No. I'm not gonna do that.
With that one specifically, that guy came. He drove like 40 minutes, I think.
He drove a pretty long way.
Yeah, he drove like 40 minutes, and he was like asking for a quote, and then you're supposed to give him a quote, but then he was very assertive. Like he was like aggressively assertive.
Yeah,
and like with that kind of customer, like it doesn't matter what they're paying. Like if you were to pay full prices, like it wouldn't have made anything any better. Like it's like we're like, you're just a bad person to work with. Like your communication is like just like not good. Like you're not fun to work with. Like you are a bad vibe right now. So regardless, if he was like, I'll pay you $400, like we would have been like, this is not the kind of customer that we want. Like he was a very bad. So we.
And I told him a few times, no, I'm sorry, man, we're not going to be a good fit. I told him that like multiple times, but every time I told him, he would just come back to me with another like offer or counter. Like this was like a an auction or something. I'm like, no, man, like, no.
And that's the thing. Yeah, like with that one, like, and that's a good example of like, bro, he was just like. It was just so off, like, bro, like we're not doing that. And then he called back. Remember, he left, and because we didn't take him, like, no, like we're not doing this, bro. Like the way you're talking to us, like the way what you want from us is just not cool. The way you're talking is not cool. The way you're asserting yourself is not cool. Like we're not gonna deal with you. So he left, and then he called back again. He's like, hey, bro, like how about 200 right now? I'll turn around right now. I was like, hey, bro, like I don't like the way you're talking to us, and I don't want to work with you. And he's like, oh, okay. Bye. It's like, bro, like, what the heck was that? Dude? And that's the thing, like, and it's good to say that, like, most of our customers are not like that. I'd say 95% of our customers are like, hey, no, don't worry, it's fine. Take your time. They leave a tip. They're a pleasure to work with.
Do you need some water?
I'm trying to think, like, because I do remember the few times where I did have like a kind of lower quality customer. They would nitpick a lot more for like what it was like, like probably on the early days I would charge, like when I was on my own, like charge, I don't know, whatever, like at the time like $400 to go do something, and then contrast that to someone that like paid like 125. Like it was just like a night and day difference between like, oh wow, like this person is way chill, way more cool, way more like open, and this other person is like, hey, well, can you also get this, and hey, can you just quickly touch that up, and hey, by the way, can you just add this real quick, and hey, how much would it charge for this? Oh, can you just kind of do this real quick? Not everything, but can you just touch this up? They don't leave a tip. Like they're always like kind of watching you. Like it's just like a crazy difference between the two.
And they're watching you,
and that's something you pick up on, Angel, and that's what I'm saying, like. If you, not that like, because there are ways to like not go through that, meaning like if you have like proper marketing, or if if the kind of customers that you get are referring you, like if you have one good customer and that one good customer refers you another customer, the chances of that referral being another high quality customer is pretty high, because that's typically how it works. But and then like same thing, like if it's a bad customer,
same thing,
and they refer you someone, the chances of that person being a bad customer is also very high, because that's just how it naturally works.
I've had my fair share.
So now I guess we can go on to let's talk about setbacks now. So Angel, you've only been in business for about 8 months now. Actually, 8 months. 8 months now. So in the short time of 8 months, have you had any kind of setbacks? And setbacks could be anything. Like did you have any qualms or concerns about starting your business just at 18, 19 years old?
Yes.
So what was that? And just break it down.
Okay, so I think there's probably been at least a setback every single month, for sure. I think that's at least when you're starting off like a business, or you're in your startup phase, you're really figuring out a lot, which through all of the setbacks, I definitely have learned a lot. So it's all good things. But like at the beginning, I guess you could say the first month, not knowing what equipment to buy without overspending. I was like, man, like whenever you first start off, you're real ambitious, you're real hungry to want to start your business, and you're like, okay, I should buy the most expensive pressure washer, the most expensive equipment. I should buy all this stuff, right? So I guess the first 2 months was really getting like all the equipment down. So, but I ended up just going with like, I figured that out, and then I realized, okay, you don't need the most expensive equipment. You just need to get the job done. So I literally started off with like a hose and 2 buckets, and then I upgraded slowly to like a gas powered pressure washer, which I still use today for all of my details if it's a wash. I think a shop vac too, which was another purchase. I did end up buying a more expensive one, but luckily, it wasn't bad. Like it paid off. It paid off. So stuff like that at the beginning was a challenge. Of course, getting clients was one, but I resorted to friends and family. So I just asked all my friends. So I figured that out. At first, it was getting clients, knowing what equipment you should buy to be efficient in your startup phase. Working a full-time job and still trying to get your feet and hands dirty with the detailing. So I would bartend Monday through Friday, and then I would just try to book details on the weekend. I would hit up all my friends on the weekend, like, hey man, come get your car detailed. Hey bro, your car's dirty, come clean it. Like just stuff like that. It was always it's a hustle 24/7 nonstop, Monday through Friday. And then even sometimes on Friday, getting out of work, I would get out of work like around 11. I would try to hit up all my friends after work. Like, bro, tomorrow I'm going to detail all day. Hit me up. And even if I wasn't going to detail, bro, I would go outside the next day and start detailing my car, posting my car. And then everybody would see it and I would get, hey, wash mine. So I would do stuff like that. And then slowly as I started to get, my footing, I guess you could say, I started to get a little bit of traction. I don't want to say that I've gained huge traction, but now that I've started to make, like good amount of money, not a good amount, but for me, myself,
no, for sure. Fair. It's fair.
It's been stuff like pressure washer just broke, and I, but that was easy. I just went to go get it fixed and stuff like that. Sometimes I can't go through with a detail, because of other, commitments that I have throughout the week.
Your job.
My job.
Your job.
Yeah. So it's just
So actually, let's kind of go into that one, because I think most people, whether starting or they're whatever, or they're young or older, it's like they're gonna have the issue. So you specifically being a 19-year-old, with a full-time job, with a side business, no kids, how do you manage that? How do you manage getting vehicles on the schedule while having this full-time job?
Yeah. So it's just you just got to always be available. You just have to. There is no other way around it. You have to always be available.
No updates.
You can't like, so sometimes when I first started off, I said, I want to be off on Sunday. I don't want to work on Sunday. But now that I have a full-time job and I've started to book in details, I've realized, nah, we're open every day. Like we're open.
Which, to be fair, that's Sunday and Monday for you.
And Saturday on the afternoon.
And Saturday in the afternoon.
And sometimes during the week in the afternoon.
That's true, because it's a 4 day here and you're like, hey, I'm about to leave to go
detail. So you just have to be available every day.
Yeah.
Like if someone hits you up for a detail, try to get it in. Like it's one more detail you can add to the portfolio. It's another sale.
Yeah. And I mentioned the whole 19-year-old thing because like everyone's journey is going to be a bit different, right? You as a 19-year-old, no mortgage, no kids, no nothing, is much different than a 39-year-old with a mortgage, with kids, that has a lot more commitments than you do. So that's all I wanted to clarify. Like, there's no right or wrong answer to anyone how they do it. It's just you got to figure out what works specifically for you. And you and anyone listening at a young age, like 17, 18, 19, all the way up to 24, like, bro, you got to just dog days, get in there and just fit it in wherever. Because that's what I did too. I have another podcast episode talking about that if you want to learn more about it.
Nice.
But yeah, just like wherever, working 50 plus hours a week and then just trying to find any spot where you can detail. Because like those are the dog days, just long days, long hours, not doing much. But eventually you pass that, you look back at that, you say, yeah, that like I that was a journey I had to go through to get to where I am now. So okay. So Lex.
There's a lot of those.
Setbacks. What? Choose one.
Choose one. Well, in R3,
what's that? I'm just kidding.
When the van breaks down.
Just kidding. I'll just explain that joke real quick. Yeah, because never mind. I'm not gonna explain.
Never mind.
They might even not even get it. Yeah, no, you're good.
Anyways,
you're good.
When the van breaks down,
Yeah.
and we have a full schedule of mobile jobs, that is a big setback.
Yeah,
Clients got to get rescheduled. No
Yeah.
money during the week.
Yeah,
Me,
yeah. Let's
know?
let's break that down though,
Right.
actually, because that could be a big one. Okay, so and so this is a setback for sure.
For sure.
Let's say the van breaking down. So let's say, especially at summertime, that's a biggie
Heat.
because summertime, anything once the heat rolls around, the schedule is just like fully maxed out. Like everything is going crazy.
Everything's
like
hot. Schedule's hot.
Phone's
Everything.
hot.
It's always hot. I'm hot. Everybody. You know? Everything is hot.
Everything.
Yeah.
But that's true though.
Yeah, it's true.
And of course, like actually, no, I'm gonna say nah because if the van breaks down, a lot of things happen. Hopefully,
A lot of
it's
things
for
happen.
just one day, because one day we just got to focus on getting that day rescheduled.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's I don't think we've had a big problem with the van where it's like 3 days. Has it?
No, we did when the power steering pump or something went out.
But thankfully we had shop jobs.
Yes.
But strictly being mobile
Yes.
before the shop, we never had like a big outage of days with the van being out.
No, I mean,
but we had a
with the other van.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
so. But we still got it.
Yeah,
out, though.
but we've had a few days where with the shop, like maybe 1 or 2 days were strictly I think thankfully because we had the shop when the van did have to go down, it was either a primary shop where there were maybe a few mobile jobs and we sprinkled in and we had a few sprinkled shop jobs.
Yeah.
But regardless though, even if one day when it's a heavy mobile job, you gotta take care of the van, right? Get that to the shop.
Yeah.
2, hit up the customers, try to reschedule them.
Yeah.
You're probably one of them might drop away, which sucks
Yeah.
because they were setting for that day, right? One might be upset because like, I was really hoping that you guys would come on the day you said.
Not the next date available is like 2 weeks from now. I don't want to wait
so
that
it's
long.
that.
No.
And then if you try to get them in sooner, it's like, okay, well now let's try to make up some space somewhere so we can get to that customer faster because like we could wait 2 weeks, but we'll probably lose them by then, or like it's just not fair. Like we want to make sure that the customer's happy. Aside from that, if we have employees at the time, it's like, hey boys, no work today, dog. Yeah, because we weren't expecting for that at all. Like it's like,
You start hitting up your friends.
But that is another point to where
which is a setback.
That's what I do though.
Yeah.
Every time he tells me, "Hey, no work, bro," I'm hitting up everyone.
and to be clear, that doesn't happen too often though. That's usually
No, it hasn't happened at all. Actually.
Yeah, well, on like days like this where there's no weather.
That's rain though.
Yeah,
like I'm out of work too.
Yeah,
true.
But it could change sometimes. Maybe like
customer account doesn't show up.
Yeah, but I'm saying maybe you have like someone could go drop it off at your house or something. I'm giving you the positive.
Sure,
you could still probably.
No, you're right.
Because typically when that happens, it's just on like rain out days or. Maybe if a customer, but that rarely happens.
It's probably happened 2 days while I've been here.
Yeah. So it's not. But
it doesn't just set us back though. It also sets you back.
Yeah, in that regard as well. In which part?
Stuff like that, where you have to take time out of your day to help figure things out.
Oh yeah. And okay, we'll just jump to my side on a setback. Yeah, because so like on me, a big setback, and I've obviously talked to you this indefinitely over the last. We've been together 3 years, right?
I never started counting. Was it
July of
2020?
2019?
Yeah,
really?
19.
Pandemic?
I think 21, 2, 3. What?
Was it 19?
Or is it 20?
The pandemic. When was that?
That's 20.
20.
Well, COVID-19. It was recorded 19. That's why it's 19. But I don't think it really hit till
2020.
Anyways, so a big setback for me for the longest is like the whole like trying to like prioritize my time to what's supposed, and that has been a big setback for sure over the last 2 years, like, and a dramatic, like a big setback, and not in the sense of like I don't want to like, because now it's like 2023 right now we do have like at least like for the detail group side, there's a lot more going on versus just like the detailing part. So like the last 2-3 years has been like not in a bad way, but it's like just trying to figure out like, bro, how do we do this? And how do I do this? Like, how do I set aside and prioritize and like make sure everything's getting done while everything's happening? Yeah. So a lot of times, not just on like if a van goes down, but like if there's too much work on the schedule, if like someone dips out, don't say his name, but like
someone
we'll
just decides to
Bobby, like
dip.
I remember that was like that's a setback in itself. That's an employee setback. That's a schedule setback. That's a my time setback.
When I get sick,
when Lex
That's
weak his immune
he
system.
got sick, and it was just me and you that time.
Bro, that's simple though. Like you should have gone to the dog days. That was easy. That was because it was at the shop. Like it was a correction and coding. Like it was chill. No, like a big setback was we had a full booked out schedule. We had an employee. Not that he really had any red flags. He probably didn't catch on as fast and like what kind of like you. No, just kidding. No, like he didn't catch on. He didn't catch on that quick. And now remember, I went out. No, it was I went. Oh yeah, I went out to the job site. The guy was late, so he stayed at the shop. We went back to the shop so we can pick him up and he can go mobile.
And you stay.
Yeah, because I have to go work on other things. And then he went to lunch, never came back. And then I immediately just I just got my bag and like ran to the van because they had to go to the next customer. I hopped in, no lunch or anything. And then that's the same day that Alex like almost passed out. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, that's the same day.
Oh,
Yeah, we
that was
go
a bad
all
day.
the way to like Katy or something or Sugarland to go do the job. Yeah, just that whole day was straight just shit, dude. Like
Stress.
straight just.
Right there?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Nah, a long time ago.
About 2 months ago. No, just kidding.
That was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
but that's a big setback, and you know, like you'll run into this as well. Like, bro, like the only thing you can do is just find a solution, whatever it is. It's not gonna be the best solution. Not gonna be, you know, it might be a short term solution. It might be a long term solution, but like you just gotta like look at it in whatever manner that you can, and just find like what's the solution here. Like what can I do to get out of this? What can I do to just get me to that next step before it happens? So like on that one, it was like because we Alex or the mobile team had to go to the job. So bro, I literally just went to my office, grabbed my bag, just started like ran to because he was pumping gas. I was like, bro, let's just go. Like let's just go knock it out. Like I'll worry about whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like it sucks.
Later. Yeah. So that's definitely a setback. But yeah, the thing is just like you just gotta look at the problem in whichever way to come up with a solution. Like that's all it is. It might not be the best one. You might get someone angry if it's like, oh, because a lot of times with our schedule, it could be like, hey, like based on whatever happened, it's like, look, to like kind of alleviate this freaking pain in the schedule, like just call that customer and move it away, like push it back. Like that will alleviate a lot of the problem that we have right here. So it's like, you know, maybe that wasn't like the best choice, but like at the given time with all the stress that we had, it's like that seemed like the best choice. You might, and most of the time the customers, they don't, they actually don't care. Like not
high quality customers.
Yeah, they're not like, oh, what the heck, dude? Like I'm paying you for not like it's like okay, it's fine. We can do next week on Saturday. Like it's typically like that. But just whenever you're switching anyone's schedule around, like there's you know, because I know with me, like if like a electrician or plumber is like gonna come to the house and it's like, yeah, we'll be there between 9 and 11 a.m. on Friday. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna expect you here between 9 and 11 a.m. on Friday. And then if they, if they're like, hey,
I mean, what if your barber told you he can't cut your hair today?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I get to be like, that's why we try to stick to the schedule. So that's just a good customer experience. Like, bro, if we told you Friday 9 a.m. we're gonna be there, bro, we're gonna be there because we told you you shifted your schedule to adjust to our time, or that was the only slot that you had. So yes, I don't like to mess with anyone's schedule. So that's why but when needed, it's like, damn, like this is just the best option. Just move them. Like that's we have to do that. Okay, so now let's talk about goals. Actually, so Angel, you got handsome detail.
Yes.
You got handsome detail. Well, what are your goals for 2023? Just personal handsome detail, whatever you want to share with us.
Make $2,000 at least 1 month of the year.
Okay, see with that in itself, because right now, so you said make at least 2,000 in a month.
1 month of the year.
Of the 12 months.
Yes, just one.
What's the highest month? What's the highest revenue month you had last year?
1,700.
So you're saying, and what's the average that you made last year?
1,000.
1,000. Yeah, I would say 2,000 is too low because you're gonna hit that. You're gonna hit that. And let me ask you, Angel, would you rather set a higher goal and be short, or set a lower goal and hit it?
I'd rather set a lower goal and be surprised by the outcome. I'd rather overshoot a lower goal. So, because let's say I set 2K, it should be like based on my previous months, 2K should be very attainable. I'd rather overshoot it and be like, oh, I did more than 2K.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime anyone ever asks me, what advice would you give your younger self? I always go back to this the one thing of like you could do more. Even on the live today, someone asked me what advice would you give your younger self,
I remember.
and I said if I can, were you on the live?
Yeah.
And I said if I could go back 10 years for 10 seconds and talk to my younger self, I would just say you can do a lot more than what you're doing right now. Even though if you think you can't, you can. And the reason why I say that is because if you set a bigger goal and you set more audacious goals, you start thinking about it completely different. So let me ask you, okay? If I asked you to, I'm trying to give an analogy, so I'm not trying to relate it to detailing, but I might go straight back to detailing because that's all I have in my head. But if I say, okay, if I say, Angel, I need you to be able to be a track car, right? All I needed to do is hit 200 horsepower, right? You already know in your head what that is. You're like, oh, it's actually pretty easy. Some bolt-on intake, bolt-on whatever. Say it's you're working off of a STI. So let's call it. You try to get it to 400 horsepower. Okay.
That's kind of difficult.
But it's what are they at? Like maybe like what?
Factory? I don't know. Like 30-something wheel.
Okay. Let's add another 100, right?
Okay.
Some bolt-on, some whatever, a tune, whatever. You're like, okay, I'm already almost there. Now, if I tell you, Angel, build me an 800 horsepower STI. Now your mind starts thinking, well, hold on. All right.
Cams.
Bigger turbo. Maybe I could do that. So your mind just starts saying, oh, there's so many other things that I can do. So if you force yourself to think bigger and to be more creative with what you do, you might not even hit the goal, but you start to think at a higher level that gets you moving a lot faster.
I got you.
Right? So going back to, so forget the 2000, right?
Okay.
I say, Angel, your highest revenue month for 2023 has to be $10,000, right? 1 month you have to hit $10,000. Your entire persona, your entire strategy, everything changes because you're like, holy heck, 10,000. So, okay, well, realistically speaking, like, what would I have to do that, right? And like the strategy is there. Like you could hit 10,000 in a month. The reason you don't is it's not even like in your mind to make a plan for that, you know?
I guess you're right.
So when you say, well, 2,000 because I would like to be able to surpass it and surprise myself, it's like which sounds totally fair. But going back to the same advice that I'd always give my younger self is like you don't know what you're capable of, right? Like you don't know what your threshold is, right? Yeah. You don't know what you're actually capable of life, and the only reason you don't know is because you don't even dare challenge yourself mentally to say, but can I? Yeah. So that's why I would feel like anytime ever ask me like, well, what would I, and I only realized I've been saying that like maybe a few days ago. I was like, dang, every time someone asks me what I think I would have done when I was younger, it's always, I say it a little bit differently every time, but it's always been set bigger goals, take bigger action. Like that, as simple as it is. Like you say 2,000, bro, say 5,000. You say no, but what's the difference? And let's say you don't hit 2,000, right? Let's say you come up short, and let's say you come up short on 5,000. Which one would you rather come short on?
5,000,
because it's still bigger than 2,000.
No.
So it's like it just like it completely changes your reference because I listened to this other podcast episode of this guy that grows an e-commerce business. I forget how big, but it's like a big. I think it's at the 100 million mark. I think
100 million.
Yeah. But he said one of his, I'm gonna paraphrase here pretty hard, pause. But his thing was like, think in terms of billions, meaning everyone wants to think about like tens or 100,000 or tens of millions. But what happens if you said, hey, you have to get, and he just started saying like random things like, what if you had to get 1 billion views on your website? What if you want to hit $1 billion in revenue, right? What kind of strategy would that look like? It's like, does that mean you have? Is that just having one marketing channel? Is that having like a content empire? Is that having different talents? And then it's like, oh, okay, so now so a lot of things that I do now with Detail Groove, with Proper Care, with the podcast, and what I want to do is coming of like, well, if I really wanted to like just be a massive organization, well, I mean, yeah, like I could grow Proper Care, but then what if there was like another channel where it wasn't about detailing, but more just about car anythings, right? What if I had another YouTube channel that wasn't ran by me, but now there's a host there that all they do is talk about cars. And then what if instead of just like cars, what if there's a segment for American Muscle, and then what if there's one for JDM, and now there's 4 different channels with 4 different talents that's running their own thing, and from each one they have their own brand and their own Instagram, their own TikTok. So now it's like, oh, okay, so that's how you think bigger. Versus if I said, you know, I just wanna make YouTube videos. And there goes my little channel. You know, granted, you can grow it to millions and millions, but I'm saying like it's like having that bigger mindset of like, oh, okay, like, but what is bigger then? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, to you, yeah, 2,000. That's too easy, dude. Like, and it's like the same thing with like when I'm in the gym and stuff. It's like, again, anytime anyone makes a big lift, it's like, bro, you gotta have the mentality of like, this is heavyweight. Like, if you're trying to go heavier, like. I tell you other times, like, bro, a good workout isn't a program; it's a mentality you put behind it. You know, it's the effort, it's the aggressiveness, so it's like the only, like, you're thinking, well, 2,000 is attainable. It's like, well, you could easily say 4,000 is attainable, but your level of action does not meet your expectations. You know, so it's like, so yeah, so that's like the number one thing. I just realized that I always go back to like I should have set bigger goals.
Yeah, because
even now, everything that I'm doing now, it's like there's no reason why the younger Oscar couldn't have done that. The only reason he didn't is because he didn't allow himself to access those files in his mind because they were too out of reach, or they're too far gone, or it was too much money, or it would take too much time. Like, the only reason I'm not doing this sooner was because like I mentally told myself I couldn't. And it's like I keep on like I'm saying that more often now recently of like people want to talk about the haters and the trolls. It's like you are your own limitation. Like, you are your own hater sometimes, right? Like, why would you not hype yourself up to say, nah, bro, we could do 5,000?
Yeah.
You yourself said, well, 2,000 is attainable. You know, like, you yourself are not your own hype man, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
Which, not in a bad way, but like, that's the reason why it's good to be around people that are like, nah, bro, like, you can do more, you know? That's why anyone that goes to the gym, anyone that does anything like a PR of any kind of a top single, 10 out of 10 times, no shadow of a doubt, 10 out of 10 times when they're like, bro, like the most I've ever gone is 180, like, let's say on a bench 185. And then they do 185. I'm like, bro, without any more right now, you can hit at least 205. Not like bad, like trying to kill them or anything. But it's like, I can just tell you've never been mentally challenged to say you can do more than that. And 10 out of 10 times it happens, right? They do a deadlift and it's like, it's called it 315. It's like, oh, I've never done 315. Okay, try 315. And they do it. And it's like, okay, bro, like just the way you look, the way you can easily go up to 355 right now. And they're like, no. It's like, bro, the way you just look, the way you lift, everything is telling me like you could easily hit 355 right now. Yeah. 10 out of 10 times, like 10 out of 10 times, bro. They're able to lift heavier. And and that's been the most amazing thing to see, because like it's literally just someone else telling them, no, bro, you can lift heavier. That's all it takes for them. Like, can I really? They do it 10 out of 10 times. But like people that are like just getting started. If you like, you know, if someone's like, no, actually, I take that back, because I take that 10 out of 10 times. Yeah. Obviously, there's going to be times where it's like, obviously, like, you know, like you're working out pretty frequently, like you already know your limits, like that individual. But for the people that I've dealt with, like 10 out of 10 times, like, well, just telling that person, like, bro, I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And I'm telling you, you can lift more right now. And they lift more because just someone else telling them you can lift more. Anyway, so 2,000 is good though. Yeah, do that one for the.
Yeah, 2,000 is all right. No, I mean, it's just, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like fear or.
It is fear though.
It is.
To set a goal outside and to not hit that goal, it's coming out of fear. Yeah, 100%. Because that's a big reason why I, for the longest on YouTube, like I wouldn't share things, because I'm like, well, what if I say something and like it doesn't happen, right? But it's like that is 100% is fear, because like of course you're not fearful of saying if you know you're gonna do it, bro. Like, you know, like that's the point. Like,
no, you're right.
Then what is the challenge there? If you know for a fact you're gonna hit it, it's not a challenge.
No, you're right.
It's just a task you have to complete, right? Like that's how it goes. So yeah, I'd say at least like 2,100, bro. Like, not just kidding. Yeah, like
2,500 maybe.
I'd say like at least like 4,000, like
$4,000
minimum.
See, you just said $4,000, and I kind of like $4,000. Like I'm already kind of processing how to get to $4,000.
Yeah, and another good thing, and this is actually from a book from Cybernetics from I forgot who wrote it. Anyways, but what was it talking about? I just lost my train of thought.
So
set bigger
goals.
All right, no, but you just said
$4,000.
Yeah, you just said that, like, you're like, oh, how am I gonna hit that?
I'm already processing.
Yeah, you're already processing it. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. It was gonna be a great analogy to that book that I wrote. Man. Dang, what were you just saying?
I said how you said $4,000, and I was already processing how I'm gonna get to $4,000.
How are you gonna need to forget? Oh, that's such a great book. That it was a great cybernetics is a fantastic book. That's all I can say.
Oh, man.
Yeah, my bad. It's gonna be such a damn banger
Man,
for
it's gonna be a
my
hit.
lesson. Okay, my bad to go on that spiel. Handsome detail, 4,000 for at least your highest month, 4,000. Okay, what else? If you want to share anything else, you don't have to share anything else.
Yeah, so just that.
Any personal ones? Well, I get business is personal, but any more
Yeah.
personal, like your fashion or your clothes or your cars? Yeah,
No,
like
just honestly, I'm having fun right now. I'm just hustling every day, trying to make money, and just and yeah, and I have my car and I'll have fun with it. I'll do things to it. And now that I'm starting to have more funds.
more funds for the fun.
Yeah, more funds for the fun. But yeah, just things like that, and just learn a lot throughout the year and improve myself overall as a person and businessman.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's kind of whack. Lex, goals, what you got?
Yeah, I have a few actually.
Right, share as much as you like.
One of them is to grow my Instagram page.
Yeah, you've been mentioning that.
It's Lex Diaz.
Yeah, and you're already at 1,100, right?
1,159.
Hey, me too.
Hey, where did you start off? Like a 600?
I started off like an 8.
Ooh, 400? Yeah.
That's very fast.
like 2 months.
How's that going?
It's going well, actually. It's going pretty well, yeah.
Do you like posting the content?
I do like it. I didn't know that a lot of people would actually like my stuff. Like, like I thought I was going to post, get like 50 views, 100 views. I posted, I get like 18,000.
Hey, that one y'all made,
like
120,000?
120K?
Like, I didn't think it was like that out there.
It's like that. Okay.
Oh, it's like that. Almost too easy. No, I'm just kidding. So goal is to grow my Instagram page, get a following.
How many followers do you have?
1,159.
Hey,
how many followers do you want to have?
Oh, for the year.
We're looking at 10,000 by 2023.
Yeah, I think that's a fair one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
we're looking at that, trying to reach that. Come up short, still good. Another one is my fitness. I'm trying to get big. I'm trying to get big, trying to get swole like Oscar. No, gain weight. Definitely. I want to gain some weight.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I've showed you photos and stuff. Dude, when Lex, I'm talking to the camera and audience here. Dude, Lex, when we first joined up, so was I. I was smaller as well, but man, like no disrespect to Lex as he's sitting right in front of me, but that boy was small, and I didn't know you were that small. And so when you look back at photos, you're like, golly, you were small. Yeah, that boy is small. Yeah. It's gonna be cool because that like give it another year or so. Like we're gonna compare photos, bro. Lex is gonna be like, dang, you were like, boy, you were running on fumes in the.
I was barely living.
Yeah. Like now, like your facial structure, like now, like you look much more full. Yeah,
healthier.
Still lower.
Yeah.
Like you're still a few more pounds to get to like where you should be. But yeah, you look. Tough.
Yeah, it's always been tough for me to gain weight, but I guess I never really actually tried because now that I'm actually trying, it's actually happening.
It's almost like you start posting and things start to happen. You start eating and you start to grow, dude. Like
I'm eating, I'm going what?
Almost like you just do it and it starts working, dude.
Yeah. So they're trying to get a little weight, trying to get me like I think my goal for weight, I was 108 when I first started working out. Now I'm at 125.
Yo,
that's good. Yeah.
And I'm trying to get to like. I don't really know what I'm gonna look like when I get to that weight, but
that's
like
one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things you have to get there and see if you like it or not. Because like, how does it feel to like to see progress?
Oh, it feels great, man. Keeps you going. You know?
Because like for me, because I was like,
gets you excited to keep going.
I was like I don't know when, but I was like 130 or 125. I forgot when it was, but like years ago. But like you were very intentional when you started working out. You're very intentional of like what you wanted. Like you want to get big and whatever. I never had I never when I worked out, I didn't have the intent of like, oh, I want to get big. I remember at some point I just started eating just like more and I got bigger and like I never really realized the process, the progress I made until like I looked at photos so like much later, and I was like, oh dang, I got bigger. So I didn't go to that. But I'm saying like with you, like it's cool to see like you've been very meticulous and intentional with what you're doing. Like it's like I just feel like give it one more year, and it's gonna be a different Lex.
As long as I keep going.
As long as you keep on going, yeah. Angel, you don't get bigger, dude.
Yeah. My program is not as rigorous as Lex's, but
Lex is very
but it's there.
intense. Yeah, it's definitely there. Actually, let's segue into actually, let me set some of my goals actually. So some of the goals for sure, we have proper care. I'm trying to for sure trying to grow all of the accounts. That's a big focus. I would like to hire another editor for sure, so we can have Detail Groove and Proper Care can be a lot more consistent with the posting. One thing I do want to do is possibly fly around to go find other podcast guests to get them on the podcast. I don't want to do Zoom because typically when that happens is like,
lag.
Yeah, like for instance, I'm gonna like if there's a Zoom call, I'm gonna be with my Rodecaster Pro on this setup with the lights, with a camera pointing at me, and then the other person is gonna have a crappy webcam on some headphones where it's like, bro, my audio and your audio is not.
I've seen some podcasts.
For sure. I just personally don't like that. And it's a night and day difference when you're in person talking to someone. Like as far as like having a good fluid conversation, it is. So more so than that is like it's because like the lag of like and it what. Oh yeah, and then what? It's so different. And also it just like it elevates the brand of like of detailers, like, hey bro, like because another big goal is like really trying to elevate detailers in the industry, right? Like providing the resources, whether it's free, whether it's paid. Like there's another service I actually haven't talked to you about that we're offering for bookkeeping for detailers, but like being the de facto option of like not just like how do you, but like really like hey the big problem is like again we're offering a bookkeeping service, so it's like financing is Detail Groove handles that with it's called Detailer Books, and not me. We're gonna have an actual bookkeeper run that thing, but it's like actually elevating the industry of like again like not some like not just about like selling an ebook or course, but like really trying to offer actual services like has a deeper impact for detailers. So yeah, I'm really trying to do that as far as like really elevating everything that we're doing to have a bigger impact with people because it just do like my biggest thing is like because this is blue collar work, right? Like this is labor work. So my thing has always been like if you know how to market, if you know how to operate your business, like just being a blue collar job, it's like bro, you can still make money with it. You can still have the lifestyle that you want if you know. But it's like it's knowing what that is, right? So it's like my thing is like, bro, like you can have the greatest life that you want if you know what cards to play in your business. So like me trying to like offer that. Yeah. And maybe not so much like they have to go with me or like pay for my training but at least like know that there's an option out there that's more than so many detailers I talk to of like you can just tell like bro like the reason why you're stuck, the reason why you're going through these pains is because you're just a detailer. Like you're not doing anything more than that, with the content, whether it's podcasts, reels, YouTube, whatever, it's just like trying to elevate the detailers in the industry to be able to make more without thinking like, oh well, if I go sign up with this ceramic coating brand that's going to authorize it, they're going to grow my business, right? Like getting away from that crap because dude, like anytime I see anything of like gain your certification here because we're helping detailers grow their business, or hey, come be authorized installer for us and we're gonna help grow your business. Like that's not it. It's like that's and that's why I always tell Lex like, bro, I'm not gonna sign up with a coding company that requires us to be authorized because like I'm not gonna put my bets on anyone else other than me. Like you could take most of those ceramic coating installer authorization people and you compare it to like our business. It's like, bro, it's like most of it is not about the brand that you're using or that you're authorized, whatever. It's like it comes down to your marketing, your customer service. Like that's what. So
nobody has asked us if we're certified.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about installers, authorizations. I'm not worried about getting cert. Like none of that because it's all smoke and mirrors. Like it's not real. Like, and there's so many. I mean, I could go on for days with analogies of like agencies and so many other businesses that don't have no certification, whatever. And it's like, bro, yet they're making 10, 20, 50, 100 million per month because it's like they're operating at that level. And it's like, so that's one thing I'm really trying to push. And that's one decision that I made this, at the beginning of this year of like, I'm going back to the point that I was making. I was like, I'm gonna stop being scared of like, well, no, like, maybe I'm just here just to sell a course. It's like, no, I can actually have a bigger impact on people's lives if I myself step up to the plate and say, hey, like I'm here to help more people,
thinking bigger.
So and that's one thing that I really come to realize, like, because it's like, well, I told myself like, well, why can't it be me, like does it have to be someone else? Oh, of course they could do it because well it's a bigger brand or they're more, but it's like it could be me, it's 100% gonna be me. So it's what I'm doing, just more. How can I be more of a resource to others? So like one thing that I would love to do that would take quite a bit of time, but like with the SEO for Detailers course, like one thing I would love to do is to hire a full-time SEO specialist in-house. So they're on us. That way they're always like their main job at Detail Group is just to help students in the SEO course to help them with anything SEO related. Like that, like
almost.
Yeah, like that. That's what I'm saying. Like the only job is like, hey, bro, like, all you're doing all day, just answering emails, reply to emails, help people with their like that. Like, I would love to get to the point where I could hire in-house specialists to deal with that 100% of the time. And there's other things that we can think. And again, like going back to like just think bigger. Like, and these are conversations that I have with Caesar because we just always talk about business. But going with that same notion, I was like, yeah, I'd like to do that. But then I was like, well, is there a way anyway that what if we get ownership of other companies and we handle their marketing, and now that we have the SEO specialist, he has projects going on now, hey, give us 12% of your business, we'll handle your marketing and your website development, and you don't pay us at all, but we'll take a percentage of the revenue at the end of each month or quarter. And it not that that'll come to fruition, but it's like just letting your mind let your mind go to those places, right? Just let your mind say, well, what option is out there? What kind of opportunities are out there if I go that way? If you say, well, 2000 attainable, it stops right there. The creative thinking, the processes, the dreaming, it all just stops right there. If you say to yourself, well, that's attainable. So going back to that, I was like, well, if you have an in-house specialist, well, what if we get projects? And then it's like, well, what if from that point forward, right? If we hire another person, what if now we can be like an incubator for other local businesses to help them grow. And now it's like, and it's just like you keep on. Anyways,
yeah, no, that's dope.
Yeah, but that's one thing of that I really want to do. Is to be that option. Is to be the one. Yeah, because and also I see a lot of other like people doing stuff out there, and I'm like, bro, you're so wrong. Like, not to be like cocky or like arrogant. It's like, bro, what you're saying right now, I can definitively prove that it is incorrect. That I can prove without a shadow of a doubt in other industry with other businesses with other brands at different like. You are absolutely wrong right now. Also, I just like to back up my talk. Like I genuinely love like local businesses and like seeing like again because like we're just some average Joes, bro. We're not software engineers. We're not like. But if you know what you're doing, like whether it's detailing or plumbing or lawn care or HVAC or paint, whatever, it's like it. If you know what to do, like you can create a great life, not for just for yourself, but like for your employees, for your team, whatever. So it's like that's why I'm like, bro, like trying to elevate. And eventually maybe, and again, going back to just letting the mind think, bro, just let your mind go to those places. Like, well, what if at one point, instead of just servicing detailers, I now help any local service business, right? What if we have SEO for local businesses? Now I'm helping HVAC and plumbers and electricians and whatever. So again, not that way, but just letting your mind go to those places allows you to think in such a different manner than saying, oh no, I'm just going to do reels on Instagram and just sell a course. Letting your mind go there gets you to think so differently.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so going back to the last one here. So one thing that we have here is a gym. And we'll touch on this shortly, and then we'll wrap it up.
Very nice gym.
So what do you think about the gym? Is it cool that we have one?
Yeah, it's dope. We didn't have one at my last job.
Did you know we had one before you came here?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Well,
really?
I didn't know it was in 105 at least.
Oh yeah, you got here because oh no, so you didn't know then beforehand, and so you got here.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Oh yeah. And
well, I did because I saw. Well, actually, in the short time that I've been here, it's grown.
Yeah,
it's grown. Yeah. Now it has like 3 more machines. I believe.
Yeah.
So it's kind of smaller too. But
bro, yeah, dude, yeah. Did you watch the old videos where that gym was in 104?
Yeah,
like, dude, you know where we work?
Yeah.
It was right there. Like now, it would be in there.
Bro, you should have been
right
here. That's what I'm saying, bro. Last year was not a movie. Not a movie, bro. Like it was crazy what the amount of and 100% that's on me, right? Because Lex would be like, almost if we moved the gym out of here, we'd have more space. I'm like, bro, but at the same
before I hit the gym.
No. But at the same time too, though, when he was like, how about we just move the shop of the gym? The gym at the shop, I was like, how about we just grow bigger and get more space, right? Like I'd always like, I don't let anyone push me on like the thing smaller. It's like, why are you going backwards? Go forward, bro. Like, let's just get a bigger space, dog. Like, and that's one thing I told Justin too of like, and I've told Teaser too of like I'd rather overwhelm myself with work because I know if I pick away at every single little thing, eventually I'll get to the point where I can get more help to help me what I actually want to do. So like instead of playing like a low game of like, oh no, we'll just like a few videos per, I was like, no, bro, like I know what I want. I'm gonna flood myself with it. Okay, I hired Justin. Okay, boom. Now we could do a lot more. Justin, me and him got a system down. All right, bro. I'm gonna flood us again with work. We might be all over the place, but eventually we'll be able to hire someone else. Now that person will help us along. So like, yeah, I don't let like I try not to let anyone push backwards on me of like, what is that? No, bro, just work harder, bro. Like same thing with the lifting weights. Like, bro, just lift harder, bro. Just literally push harder and it's gonna go up, bro. That's all you gotta do. Just push harder and the weight goes up, dude. That's
all you gotta do is lift it.
That's like, just lift the weight, bro.
Nah, but
did you plan on working out? Like before you working out here, like did you always want to like I want to go to the gym?
So I always wanted to get into it, but it was never really something that I like went through with, because of a lot of reasons. Maybe I was like, oh, what if I don't do it right, and plus I never really had like a partner. No, not partner. Yeah, sure.
Like
call it
a
a partner.
Yeah,
I never
like
really,
a gym buddy.
Well, I did have like another gym buddy, but our mindsets in the gym would be completely different. What I'm trying to achieve, I guess this person's trying to lose weight. I'm trying to bulk up. So it's not like we can't work out together. We can, but it's not like he's gonna be doing the same work.
100%.
So I started working here, and then me and Lex started to get cooler as the days went on, and I noticed I was like, you know what, me and Lex are like kind of the same situation.
Hey,
like we're both
trying to get to the
relatively
same
skinny. He's trying to bulk up. Hey, I'm trying to bulk up too, and then. I remember whenever he first threw it out, I was like, nah, like we're not gonna.
Was it on that 90-day thing? No? Was that before that? Okay, it's probably before that. Okay.
No, so it was before that. He was like, "Hey, hit the gym." He would always tell me after work, "Hit the gym."
I'm like, bro, it's right there. like right just there. We could walk right now and start working out.
The first time he said it, I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna hit the gym. Come on, like
He didn't.
I got too much. I was like, I got too much stuff. I'm not gonna hit the gym. I don't got time for the gym. Limiting myself.
Going backwards.
Going backwards.
Thinking smaller.
But I think it got to a point where I think Lex just really engraved it into my mind,
dude.
Like every day, hey, hit the gym, hit it for like a solid.
Like I would get mad
for like a solid 2.5 weeks, maybe like 3 weeks. Hit the gym, and then at the end of like one day of detailing, I think he didn't tell me it, and then I thought of it myself. I was like, hey, hit the gym, and then I was like, all right,
who's this voice talking to me?
I was like, all right, let's hit the gym. And then, so Lex for sure had a big influence. And then now...
I got mad at him one time.
Yeah, boy got mad.
He talks about getting bigger. I'm like, bro, if you're not going to lift weights, you are not going to get bigger. I'm like, it is right there.
But it's good, though. That was definitely cool because at least for me, it showed like, oh, nah, like, like Lex actually takes it serious. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he does. Because one time... I was like, nah, I'm not going to hit the gym today, bro. I was like, I'm too tired. And he's like, all right, bro. He's just in his computer. All right, bro, you're not going to get bigger. He's like,
that's your game.
He's like, all right, I'm going to get big. I don't know about you.
I was like, 1 year's going to go by. I'm going to be really swole. And you're going to look at me and be like, damn, if I would have started with him, I would have been just like that.
It's funny because he's like, he's scolding you in the most respectful way. He's like, all right, bro, cool. Have fun staying small. And I was like, damn. So,
no, that's cool. Yeah. But
so now it's like, now we hit the hoe and I'm more consistent.
Yeah. Twice in a row. Nah, it's cool. No, but is it cool that like it's just right there?
Yeah.
Like, does it help out?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
that's what I was telling him too, right? I was like, bro, do you know how many people are out there who work 9 to 5? They have to drive to the gym, get all their stuff, change, work out, go home. I'm like, bro, we are right here. Like, you could bring your clothes here. You just stop working, walk to the other door, work out, and then go home. Like, you know how easy that is?
That also helped a lot, too. That was also one of my biggest things was like, oh, I'm going to have to go to the gym, fit it into the day where it makes sense, where,
pay for it.
Yeah, pay for the gym. Yeah.
Wait for the equipment to free up when it's at prime time.
So then eventually I was like, bro, it just makes sense to just use the gym. It's right here.
It's like, why not?
It's like a couple steps away. But yeah, it's cool. We detail all day and then we get a nice workout.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
And we hoop too.
Yeah. Because Lex and I always talk about it. Like it's just cool to have that kind of culture of like it's just cool to be able to like. It just always feel like we're friends. Like it never feels like. Never does it feel like. oh, there goes Angel. You know, like it's always just a good time. Like when y'all or when me and you or whenever when we wash the vehicles after work we hoop or we play the World Cup game over here and we there's food and pizza and stuff and like it's just so cool. Obviously, do you want to touch on the Shavada? Like, would you still worked out if the gym wasn't there?
Honestly, no, I probably wouldn't because there's no like going back to what I said. I don't think I'd want to fit in the day of having to travel out to a gym, pay for it, waiting for the proper machines. Yeah. Another big one though is for like people go to the gym is that they're insecure. They don't want people to look at them, say that they're doing something wrong.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a really big one. A lot of people don't like going to the gym just for that fact. Also, there's like there might be a weirdo. You might feel uncomfortable. I don't think I'd be hitting the gym. If
that's the big reason. That's the big reason why like it's gone through that used to be at my parents' garage and but that's always been the main goal of one for myself so I can cut down on time so I don't have to drive there. Obviously I spend more money buying it because of gym membership. Even the most expensive at $100 a month is far cheaper than buying gym equipment. Yeah, but at this point it's like the cost of going is more than the cost of purchasing that. So for me, it's always been saving time, being because especially when I used it more when I first had it, is like getting here early, working out, and then getting right to work. That was badass.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's badass. Yeah, that's badass. But then too, I always had it in my mind of like, hey, if I can invite friends, family, or if any of the team members ever want to use it, like it's right there. Like it's just another like you said, like at your old job you didn't have that, but like unless you're working like at a corporate job, no one has a private gym at like no one is gonna do that. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like cool, I knew like, and again I started buying the gym like piece by piece like 4 years ago now. It's like that was the intent behind it. Like at some point we're gonna have an employee and that's they're gonna might want to use it, so it's there. Like
it worked out good.
And yeah. So
I mean, pretty soon you're gonna fill up the whole shop with a gym.
That's the goal.
No, we're gonna get a shop just gym.
Oh yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, that 100% that'd be the goal, bro. That'd be 100. We're gonna have more employees, bro. We're gonna have more team members. Yeah. We can't, everyone got to have a piece of equipment to work on, dude.
I'm saying,
cool. No, yeah, 100%, dude, 100%. Okay, so that's a pretty good episode. Yeah. This will probably be one of our longest ones. So,
fantastic.
Everybody good? All right.
Yes, sir.
And all right, let's go work out. All right, sounds good, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.